What's going on? This is Leroy, one half of the Comic Book Bullies. Marvel just wrapped up their annual event featuring the Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals, also known as A.X.E Judgment Day. We did review each individual issue over a period of months, but to make it easy for everybody else, we decided to consolidate it into one review. So you can just listen to it from beginning to end. It's just no fat, no filler, just get right to it. And we're going to give our opinions between each individual issue. We did have thoughts. So now that we're actually doing the overall view, you kind of get a feel of what we thought about it as we go from beginning to end of the story. So before we get into it, just make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's just get into it. What do we need to talk about? What we're going to do is the Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals book. Eli, I'll be honest with you. After reading this book, it has piqued my interest. I didn't give a shit at first, but it piqued my interest. Yeah. I was like, that's actually a really good idea for a fight. So let's just go to it. Let's just see what we got. What do we got? Let's start here. I think we're going to start here. We are going to start here. Okay. So, like I said, we got Eternals versus X-Men versus Avengers. And Judgment Day is the name of the book where how it's starting off. And it's kind of giving us a prelude onto what to expect from Judgment Day. So starting off, the book just starts off with just talking about the Eternals and the X-Men and the Avengers. Basically just talk about the Eternals, were agents of the space gods that came down here to make sure that the deviants don't get out of control. Okay, cool. You got the Avengers, the Earth's mightiest heroes that aren't the Eternals. The Eternals like, okay, yeah, y'all are Earth's mightiest heroes, but you're not us, but you're cool. Even though Thor has kicked a couple of their asses before. And then they get to the X-Men. Now, the X-Men, that's a whole scenario. And they're going to go into detail. And they basically talk about 1,000,000 years into the future, 1,000,000 years BC. And we're looking at a blue monkey. And you got the BC Avengers. You got Odin. You got Druid, one of the Eternals. And you got Uranos. Not Uranus. Uranos. So there's no anus jokes in this review. So for those who don't know who Uranos is, he was the Eternals leader back in the BC million area, and he's Thanos' uncle. So yeah, they see a blue monkey, they say this blue monkey is a problem. They're like, what's the problem with the monkey? Well, the monkey has telekinetic abilities, and if it was one monkey, it'd be cool. But it's like a whole species of them just chilling out there by themselves. Okay, so what's the problem with a thinky monkey that has powers? Okay, if a monkey can develop those powers like that, that's not a mutation. That's a deviant. Like, well, what's the difference? Because if you mutate too much, you're automatically clarified as a deviant. So what we need to do, we need to eliminate this whole tribe of monkeys. And Odin like, well, that's a little bit extreme, don't you think? You're like, look, we're not asking. We are genetically wired to destroy deviants when we see them. So if you got a problem, we're going to go to war. Do we have a problem? You're like, tell you what, tell Judy to give me a beer, and I just look the other way. Cool. And that's what happened. They just kill the monkeys. So Odin didn't think it's a big deal while he's getting drunk, shit like that. We like, that might be a big deal later on. Anyway, we go to present day. We see a huge deviant wrecking, destroying the city and shit like that. The Avengers show up. Avengers assemble, blah, 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 all the stuff like that. They show up and they can't put a dent in this thing. Like, what the hell is this? So not even all the Eternals show up. Just 2 Eternals show up. Icarus and Cersei. That's it. Just 2 of them come in there, wreck this monster. Dead. 2 seconds. It's like, that's it. And Cap and Iron Man just like, hey, appreciate you, Cersei, coming in. She was like, thank you, but I honestly don't like what we just did. It's just the thing that anytime we see a deviant, we go into like kill mode automatically because the space gods, the Celestials, genetically wired us like that. So we have no choice in the matter. Like, you have a choice, we don't. So we cut to Krakoa, and basically what happened is they resurrected Cyclops for some shit he did. Who cares? But they have an invisible Eternal on Krakoa that they don't know about to sneak past all their sensors. And he goes back to Drew and telling him, like, yeah, the X-Men, they figured out how to cheat death. They have basically become Eternals. Like, and Drew's like, no, they're not Eternals. They're immortals at best. So what I need to do is find out whether or not these mutants are mutants or are they deviants. I need to know if there's a difference between them. And if I can't find the difference between them, well, we do what we do. We basically go into kill mode on the X-Men. So that's the question. Are the X-Men deviants? Because if they are deviants, that's on site for the Eternals. That's what's going on with the fight right now. And that's pretty much the Avengers trying to stop the Eternals from killing the X-Men. So this isn't the actual story. It's another prelude to the story, even though I read Road to X, Judgment of X, whatever of X. This is X, more X. So yeah,
Body spray axe.
at Body Spray X, right? I don't know why they didn't do tie-in with that, but yeah, that's what's going on with the story. So I'm gonna just fly through the story as much as possible. Like I said, just another preview, just long bunch of shit that I don't care about. Anyway, so the machine is talking, and the machine is Earth. It's like Earth. Yeah. So the Eternals can talk to Earth, and they're just talking like everything's cool. Even the Iron Man cooked everybody waffles or some shit, you know. Even the X-Men just chilling out, having fun, you know, it's like that. And Druid. So Druid is now Eternal Prime. Last time I read the Eternals comics, like last year sometime, Thanos was Eternal Prime, but something happened where I didn't want to pay attention. So now he runs the Eternals, and basically he just talking to Domo, and he asked Domo, if you were me, how would you kill all the mutants? And Domo's just like, let me think. Oh yeah, I got a way. Matter of fact, I already got an idea right now how to kill all the mutants. A bomb. Just blow them up. Just be done with it. Take this big ass bomb, put it underneath Krakoa, and blow it up. And matter of fact, the bomb is so generic that they can't even trace it back to us. Everybody's going to wonder who killed the mutants. Nobody will know, you know. And like I said, we just kill the mutants on Earth. So the mutants in Mars, we don't care about them. But if they come to Earth, then we'll deal with them. No, so that's the thing. So he's like, man, that's a good ass plan. That's the plan that I would have came up with, you know. So anyway, build a bomb. We'll kill the mutants by afternoon, and we'll get drinks later on. So be done with that. Skip. Back here. Okay.
Sounds like a great book.
Right. Bunch of shit that didn't happen, you know. So anyway, Druid is still spying on the X-Men. So because he has a spy on Krakoa that they don't know about, you know. He like, that's so lively and healthy. Can we please do something about that? Can we kill these guys? You know. And Domo's like, don't worry, I'm almost done with the bomb. But can I ask you a question, Druid? Why do you want to commit genocide? I mean, I'm gonna build a bomb for you anyway. I'm just curious, you know. Well, yeah, I'll tell you why. Because first off, the deviants, every superhero and supervillain on the planet has a deviant strain in them. But the mutants are more concentrated strain. Matter of fact, the mutants are deviants. They just call them by a different name. So if the mutants are out of control this much, we have to get rid of them. Matter of fact, they have mutants on Mars. The deviant strain is out of control. So if I'm going to be the new ruler of the Eternals, that's the first thing I got to do. And the thing is, Druid in his head really saying, I don't really give a shit about the X-Men. I'm only doing this shit because 1,000 years or 2,000 years from now, when they remember my name as the ruler of the Eternals, this is what I did. So it basically immortalized his rule. And they build a bomb and they drop it in the ocean, you know, right underneath Krakoa. It's like, well, that's done. Look at some drinks. Cool. But then they start freaking out because they're violating one of the three rules of the Eternals. The three rules of the Eternals is protect the machine, protect people, kill deviants. You know, and basically when it means protect the machine, it means protect Earth. You know, so basically, I cut it in. They can't kill Krakoa. They can't blow Krakoa because Krakoa technically is part of the machine. Krakoa is sentient. So they literally physically can't attack Krakoa. Otherwise, it will kill them. So they realize, okay, so we can't build a bomb to blow up the X-Men. What do we need to do? He's like, don't worry, I got a plan. If you want to commit genocide, ask the expert. And they go to Uranus, not Uranus, Uranus. And this is Thanos' granddad. No, Thanos' uncle or somebody, some shit like that. Anyway, the guy that makes Thanos look like shit is this guy. You know, he's like, well, if you want to kill somebody, you should just came to me. To be continued. That's the book. So yeah, just cut to the end of it. The thing I'm mad at, I mean, I'm enjoying the concept of the storyline, but I'm sick of all these preludes. I feel like they're ripping me off. Road to X, journey to X. Here comes the X. Give me the X. I want the X. I'm ready for it.
X is coming.
Right. My body is ready. Give it to me. So now we've been reading Road to X, Journey to X, Judgment of X. This is X. This is where the X story starts. So we're just going to jump into it.
Okay, so it's finally this is Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals?
Yeah, they're all in it, and the fight actually starts in this book. So they actually the war starts in this one.
All right.
So, yeah. So, no more foreplay. Let's get to it. All right. Yeah, so it starts off, Tony Stark right there is having a dinner date with Cersei. Meanwhile, they're across the street from the treehouse, which is the X-Men's, headquarters. And basically, Tony is interrogating. She was like, "Look, I know some shit is going on with you in the Eternals. A war's about to start, but I need more information. What's going on?" And Cersei's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you anything." And Tony's just like, she's not gonna tell me. Take her." And she looks up in the sky. It's Phoenix, and it's Echo. Just snatches her out of the place and takes her into space. And she's getting the shit kicked out of her by Echo, Captain Marvel, and Thor. Now I don't care who you are; those three come for your ass. You're done. So even Eternal, you know. Yeah, so in the X-Men's looking up there like, damn, sister got that ass kicked, but they got their own problems because since the information's got out that they know how to resurrect themselves, all the humans want the technology also. So now the humans hate the X-Men even more than they did before. you know and Jean Grey's like hearing their thoughts, and she even get the thoughts of one of the women down there, was upset that her daughter died. And the X-Men have the ability to bring her back, but they won't because she's not a mutant. So like, damn, well, what can we do? Well, nothing we can do. Cyclops is like, he don't care. Meanwhile, you got Krakoa talking, they trying to figure out what's going on, and Destiny has a premonition, but it says, boom, the Eternals are trying to kill us. They're gonna kill us like very soon. Like, oh shit. Let me go to Mars. Let me warn those people. So Nightcrawler goes to Mars and talk and find Storm and Magneto and Cable, and he tells them what's what. Cable's like, okay, no. Storm is like, I'll go to Earth because the Quiet Council needs to meet right now to find out what's going on with the Eternals. Meanwhile, they're gonna talk with the Quiet Council on Mars and hash it out. Go from there. Okay, cool. What do we got here? We got Iron Man took Cersei back to the Avengers Mountain, and he put her in a special room where psychic powers don't work. She's like, oh yeah, my psychic powers don't work, but my matter manipulation works just the same. And she just turned back into her Eternals outfit, and she's like, look, Tony, you can't keep me locked in here. Matter of fact, with your heart condition, even from this distance, I can just give you a heart attack right now by the snap of a finger. And all people would think like, why this shit didn't happen 10 years ago? She's like, look, just tell me what I want to know. Who are you about to fight? Who are you about to go to war with? She's like, I'm not telling you anything. And then that's when Tony gets a phone call. He's like, it's not working. I'm coming in. And he's like, no, you can't come in because she'll mind control you. You're like, it don't matter, Tony. You know the rules. And that's when Captain America walks in. He was like, look, Cersei used to be Avenger, once an Avenger, always an Avenger. So he starts talking, and he's just like, well, what do you know? And she's like, what do I know? What do you know? Because basically, they know information that Druid is about to start a war. They know he's about to start a war, but they don't know who he's about to start a war with. So we get to it, and we go to Druid, and we find out what he's doing. He's going to like some other high council in the Eternals, and he's saying, I need control of the Unimind to kill the mutants. So do I have your permission? And they all give him a thumbs up. They're like, yep, let's do the Unimind. And they do it. So he's talking to Thanos' uncle, telling him the whole situation. And he basically like his Thanos' uncle, Uranus, not Uranus, Uranus. Yeah. I got to keep remembering that. He's been locked in there for like 100,000 years. And Droog is telling him, I tell you what, I'm going to let you out for 1 hour, for just 1 hour. After that, the machine is going to teleport you back in here. But you commit this, and you do one thing for an hour, wreck as much havoc as you can, and just do that for me. Well, I go handle some other shit, So he's like, and that's when you got this cool ass picture of Uranus. He's like, Uranus, the undying. Watch what I do with an hour. That's what she said, We go to William McTaggart. Yeah. So Maureen McTaggart and Druid is just talking it over. Just like, so how are you going to kill the mutants? You're like, I'm going to show you. And he basically breaks down his plan while the plan is happening during this hour while Uranus is doing his old fucked up shit. So you got Wolverine Gold Balls playing volleyball, and the Quiet Council is talking. They're just like, well, what the hell is going on? Where's Mr. Sinister? We ain't seen Mr. Sinister in months, And while they're talking, that's when they all get the psychic attack. And the Unimind is over Krakoa, and the Unimind is about to kill everybody on the country. That's when all the psychics in the X-Men go into teleport, psychic mode, like Jean Grey and Hope and Emma Frost and Professor X, and they go to battle with the Unimind. So human eyes can't see this battle, but it's a mind battle that nobody else can see. But so that means all the telepaths are out of play, which means the regular Eternals can go to work. So they got actually battle armor on right now, and they start fighting the shit out of them. They just start fucking up mutants, and they call the X-Men. The X-Men teleport from New York from the treehouse, teleport everybody. And then while the Mars Quiet Council is talking, they get attacked, but we don't see who they get attacked by until later on. So Wolverine sniffs something, he smells something, so he's fighting his way, chopping his way through Eternals, and he see Gold Ball. Gold Balls is dead, and he's one of the 5. So he's like, this thing good, because they know who the 5 are. So he's like, if he's going for them, he's going for Hope next. So he teleports and he stabs in the Eternals right before he kills Hope, and he's just like, oh damn, you're good. He like, how did you even know I was here? He like, I couldn't smell you because you got some kind of eternal power that stops me from smelling you, but I can smell the blood on your knife from Gold Balls. You need to clean your blades more. You're like, okay. And he just teleports away, but Wolverine steps in front of Hope to stop him from getting stabbed and shit like that, but he just teleports and that's it. So, and he was like, basically, Gene, stop this unimind battle. Get back here. They're trying to kill the 5. They're trying to kill Hope. So basically, the Eternals did what they wanted to do, and they left. And Drew is just like, well, I did what I wanted to do. I'm out. But somehow Gold Balls had a backup of himself. So since he's there, they can still, basically the 5 is still intact. And they bring back Cable, even though he was on Mars, and he's just like, what happened? He's just like, tell me what happened, And that's when Uranus, is counting down, and he teleports. His hours is up. He teleports back, and you see a trail of bodies on Mars. So that's what he did in an hour, And he just is basically just like, look, you need me because your other plan failed, but I got the shit done, So bring me back and we can get this done. He's like, no, I'm not ever letting you out ever again. You're crazy, So we go to the Avengers, and they get approached by. Oh yeah, this shit was funny right here. Druid announces phase 2 of his plan. He's just like, he basically hacks into everybody's smartphone on the planet. He tells citizens of Earth, I'm coming to deal with you about this mutant problem. We're the Eternals, and we're gonna kill them. And we should have did it a long time ago, but our bad. We're gonna take care of them now. And basically, everybody on the planet starts cheering. They're like, thank you. Get rid of these motherfuckers. We want them gone. Fuck these muties. And you're like, but we're gonna need some monsters that we're gonna resurrect from the Western Hemisphere to kill them. So if you're on the Western Hemisphere, you might want to move away from the coastline. And these monsters are called the Hex, and that's gonna say after record next. We continue. So yeah, like I said, the war has started. The war is going on. We got action. They know who the 5 are. They know where to hurt the X-Men, and I think everybody on Mars is dead. So we'll see how it goes. So,
well, damn.
Yeah, overall, pretty interesting start. I'm into this summer blockbuster. Let's see where it goes. So
cool.
Basically picking up last time where we left off is that Krakoa was getting invaded by 5 monster Eternals that Druid recruiter called the Hex. That's what they call the Hex. See, is that it's live? Yeah. So the Hex are just destroying Krakoa right now, and the X-Men have all returned to Krakoa all over the world to just fight these 5 monsters. So let's get to it. So book starts off, like I said, humans are basically divided on who they want to win. Some people want the Eternals to kill all the mutants. Some people want the X-Men to win. Some people want everybody to get along, but whatever. But anyway, the X-Men are fighting the Hex, these big monsters, and they just wrecking shit. Oh, but they got Exodus with it. For those who don't know, Exodus, like from the 90s, he was like Magneto's do-boy. But turns out he's one of the strongest X-Men or mutants they have on there, So they getting so the X-Men getting the ass kicked, and they're like, we need help. And then that's when you get thunder, lightning, a photon blast, and a vibranium shield right here. So you know what that means. Da, 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 that the Avengers are here. Yep. And the X was like, if any one of them Avengers step foot on Krakoa, I'm killing them. You don't touch foot on sacred ground. They were like, well, they outvoted you. And that's what Magic said, like, hey, Avengers, you want to kill these bastards? More the merrier. So they all down for it. So the Avengers join in, X-Men join in, they're kicking ass, stuff like that. Meanwhile, Tony wasn't there because Tony is trying to create a god. How they're doing this, they actually go into detail about how they explain it. So Avengers Mansion has a celestial built into it. So they're trying to find a way how to resurrect it. What happened is that the Celestials have been visiting Earth. So what they've done is that they have been leaving like breadcrumbs and trails of stuff they have all throughout the centuries. Like Arishem left his thumbprint there. Tiamat left some stuff there. Even Odin's destroyer armor that Arishem wrecked and folded into like origami, they took that shit. And they built a new AI. And since Tony like rode a Celestial in, was that null shit, null ends, whatever. They're like using his memory of how to control
the
Celestial.
Codex or whatever it was called, or something like.
You remember when he wrote it on Celestial to fight No on that shit? Like a dark Celestial.
Him. I thought you meant like no, like the contact the other Venoms. What are they called?
Yeah, that guy. No, that guy.
Yeah, I don't
No.
know. But
Yeah.
no, I thought you meant that Codex that connects to all the other symbiotes.
Oh no, yeah, not
this is
that.
You're talking about how Tony controlled the Celestial. That's
he controls Celestial and wrote in on it, and it was like
Okay.
Venom synced or whatever like that. So
Yeah.
they're like, since you know how to control, we're gonna like mind control you to figure out how to control. So they're gonna build Celestial, but they're gonna make it so the Celestial isn't crazy, because a lot of times Celestial is just crazy. They just kill everybody. So we're gonna make it in our image. We're gonna make God in our image. Tony Stark's image. But yeah, fighting now. So you got the X-Men fighting, and they finally find an opening. Exodus flies inside of the big monster and uses a telekinetic blast to just nuke the monster and any nearby mutants to just kill them also. Just fuck them or whatever. But it doesn't matter because it's X-Men. So they actually resurrect him 5 minutes later, and he's right back fighting. They're like, okay, let's go back in there and fight again. So meanwhile, okay, so the X-Men can resurrect, but the Eternals can resurrect also. But they didn't tell anybody how they resurrect. So what they do, anytime one of the Eternals died, this is how it is in the new comics run right now. They sacrifice a human. So that guy's dead. To bring back that monster. No, it was just some Russian guy or whatever. Yeah. just some random guy. He just died. Yeah. So they died and just brought him back. So yeah. So now they're fighting. Oh, and Exodus dies again. They're fighting with a guy chopped in half. They're like, oh shit, bring him back. So they're still fighting. And then yeah, the same monster that Exodus just blew up and killed. Now he's back because they sacrificed a human to bring him back. So you can't kill. So as long as one human is left on Earth, you can't kill Eternals. So it's like a battle versus Immortals. So that is like, fuck the X-Men, just kill Krakoa. So they're just wrecking Krakoa and just trying to crack it in half. They're like, we kill the mountain, we kill the island, we kill everybody. So Nightcrawler prays like, please God, save us. And God answers. Tony has awoken the Celestial, and the Celestial says, cease, stop fighting. He tells the Eternals on Krakoa Island to come back to Earth. Come back to home base, because whatever the Celestials say, the Eternals have to obey. It's like a genetic flaw. They can't disobey it. So they leave and they think, hey, we won. Cool, we won. And that's when that's when the Celestial says, yeah, I'm sick of all of you. All of you are petty. All you do is fight. All you do is kill each other. War. So I'm sick of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to judge everybody on this planet in the next 24 hours individually. And if more people ain't shit versus people that are shit, I'm killing everybody in the next 24 hours. And that's why he has Arisham's thumb moving sideways, because if he goes up, we're fucked. Goes down, we're cool. And the end. So yeah, so Tony Stark just created a killer god. So yeah. Gomer the other day from This Geeks and Comics. I didn't listen to the podcast tonight. I'm listening to it tomorrow. But he made a post earlier today trashing this whole event, this Judgment Day thing, basically saying this whole thing is trash. I don't think it's trash per se. It does have some opportunity, but
it's recycling. It could go into recycling.
Yeah, it's recycling.
Trash.
It's not even
recycling.
Yeah, it's not complete shit. It's some salvageable shit in here. But yeah, let's go on with that. So let's do it. This is X number 3. A.X.E, Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals. Because we got to have a event with Eternals in it for some reason. Because it's everybody's favorite superhero. So basically what happened, last book, Tony Stark made a god, space god. That's what he did. And he did it to try to control the Eternals, because the space god controlled the Eternals. But instead, the space god went crazy and wanted to kill everybody. Gave everybody 24 hours to get their shit together, or he's going to kill everybody. That's the plan. So let's get to it. So, yeah. So the space god is just like, yep, I gave you 24 hours. Get your shit together, and I'm gonna start judging people. I'm gonna start judging people right now. And that's when Captain America's like, no, we gotta stand together. We gotta blah blah blah. And then the space guy hears me, just like, yep, that's him. Captain America always giving dumbass speeches. You know what? I'm gonna judge him first. He's like, Captain America, since you are a symbol of America, and America is the world leader, and you represent everything this country stands for, would you agree that this country sucks? Like, this country is fucking terrible, and you're the American dream. You're the symbol of it. You're the best thing about it. So if this country sucks and you represent the country, you fail. And they're like, oh shit. If Captain America failed the test, what the hell to mean for everybody else? Especially Tony Stark, like, oh, I damn it sure ain't got a chance, you know. And he's just like, okay, get your shit together. So yeah, that's what's going on. So we go to it, and basically all the people around the world, you know, are panicking and things like that because they had the space god basically calling Judgment Day. And what do we got? So yeah, Mr. Sinister has, oh yeah, they got a plan. They have a plan. Tony Stark knows how to shut off the space god. He was like, if we get to this part right here and we do this thing right here, and we do that, and we reach the node, we can shut them off. And Eternal's like, yeah, no. Because if you shut off the Eternal, I mean, you shut off the Celestial, Tony, we got to kill you. You're like, wait, you got to kill me? You're like, no hard feelings. We got to kill you because we're hardwired to protect Celestials. So if you do anything to the Celestial that we know about it, we got to kill you to stop you. So, but then as soon as they leave the room, Fastos tells Tony, he like, look, if you can do it, don't tell us. And then it's okay. Because if we find out, we got to come after you. But if we don't know, then nothing we can do about it. He's like, okay, cool. I will find a way. Meanwhile, Mr. Sinister back to the whole time, he like, and he's telepathically talking to Destiny, you know, on Krakoa. And he's telling her everything that's going on, where to know how to get to him, stuff like that. So she does like an emergency quiet council meeting. She was like, okay, Mr. Sinister is with them right now. And he's telling me how we need to get that to shut him down. So we got to shut him down. They were like, well, how can we do that? We're still fighting those eternal hex monsters. So we don't have enough people to even attack a celestial, a space god. We don't have enough people. And that's when, walking through the gates, the deviants walk through the gates, the eternal enemies and shit like that. General Crow, I can't remember that dude name, Karnak, some shit. The Prodigy, I can't remember none of these people's name, but anyway, that's them. And Cyclops, that may be his name. Jack Kirby was high as fuck when he made this shit, so I don't know. Is that a monkey? I don't know what the fuck going on. But yeah, Cyclops is like, how the hell did you deviants walk through the gates? Only mutants can walk through the gates. He's like, no, only deviants can walk through the gates. Because guess what, mutants? You're deviants. We're basically cousins. So any gates you make, we can walk through them. And guess what? Since Eternals are trying to kill you and we hate Eternals, guess whose side we're on? So guess what? You go kill the space god. We'll fight off the Eternals. And there you go. You're like, huh. I guess we got a plan. Okay. So they go do their thing. Meanwhile, that's when Selma Hayek chick, I can't remember her name. She realizes that the space guy got hacked by the X-Men. And she's like, wait, what the fuck? At first you think it's Tony. Like, Tony, what the hell you do? Like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And then look, it's a Sinister. He's like, did I do that? You know, he get a little, basically, yeah, he told the X-Men how to kill the Celestials, so they realized what happened. So as soon as the Eternals know what he did, they just go into attack mode. They're like, oh, kill the mutants, you know, and they just fly off. They're gone. You know, so then the X-Men are there, and then now the Eternals are there, and it's just all I want. So we finally, 3 issues in, we finally get a Eternals versus X-Men fight. And guess what? It's 1 page. They move on to something else after that. Yeah. So Icarus ripped somebody in half, but I don't know who he ripped in half, but it's the X-Men, so it don't really matter who he ripped in half. And basically Jean Grey like, well, somebody please take this guy out. And that's when Exodus like smacks the shit out of him, like 1 punch, like what the fuck? So I had no idea that guy was that strong, because Icarus is like one of the strongest guys, and he just beat the shit out of Icarus. So Jean Grey is making a beeline straight to the node, and Tony's like, no, you can't go, because if you go, there may be a fail-safe switch that the Celestial might blow up some shit and kill everybody. You know, it's like, we got to take that chance. So they get there, and Tony's like, well, let me make sure that everything's okay. He's like, okay, cool, don't worry, we're good. It's not gonna blow up. It blows up. Takes out everybody, kills all the mutants, Eternals, everybody's gone, keeps blowing up, takes out like the Western Hemisphere, New York is gone, everybody's gone, you know, except it was all a dream. The Celestial did this shit on purpose to show them what had happened if the X-Men attacked them. So they're like, yeah, Don't even try it, because if you do it, that's what's going to happen. So like, well, and everybody on the planet had the psychic link also, so they felt the same shit. So they realized, oh, this motherfucker's not playing. So like, okay, look, you got about half a day left. Y'all better figure this shit out, otherwise the thumb's going down. So that's it. So they just like, oh shit, okay. So then Captain America's like, no, we got to. So basically, they just gave it. They like, okay, there's nothing we can do other than just wait out judgment, just see what the Celestial says. Maybe we'll pass. That's what Captain America said. Like, maybe we'll pass, and maybe we're not all pieces of shit. And that's when Cersei's just like, I got an idea. So she goes into like the Eternal prison to free an Eternal, and the Eternal she frees is Thanos' brother, Star Fox. Now, for those who don't know who Thanos' brother is not what you think he is in your head. He's like the exact opposite of Thanos. He's like all about love and peace and shit like that. And yeah, and
he's hot.
He's hot. You remember Harry Styles was playing him in the MCU. So I don't know who that is, but apparently he's like a big thing. They redesigned Star Fox. He got like the chest hair out now. He's like more androgynous. He got like some lip on, like like that. So they did some things to Star Fox.
He's
so
all smooth. He's smooth now.
Yeah, that's so. And I thought they were never going to touch Star Fox again because Star Fox was problematic, but they're like, fuck it, we're just going to do it. So yeah, so Star Fox is the secret weapon. I'm thinking what's going to happen. Star Fox, because he has a superpower to make everybody fall in love. Sometimes he makes people fall in love with him, which is why he's problematic. But I think he's going to make everybody fall in love, make everybody realize what they're missing, and yeah, that's the thing. So for people that have been keeping up, God say you got 24 hours to prove yourself worthy. Otherwise, I'm going to give everybody a thumbs down. If you're good, I'm going to give you a thumbs up. But if you thumbs down, it's a wrap. Let's get to it. So the book starts off. Okay, so Captain America's outside of the X-Men street house trying to come everybody down. Because like I said, since news got out, everybody knows they have 24 hours before the whole world gets destroyed if they don't pass. So what do they do to prepare to be worthy? They start looting, rioting. That's what people do. Captain America trying to calm him down. He's like, nah, fuck that. So they just attack him and shit like that, So, and he's trying to give a speech, but they're not trying to hear that shit. Meanwhile, at the Avengers mansion, they're talking to Star Fox, and Cersei's plan is to she free Star Fox because Star Fox is Thanos' brother. And basically the same level of Thanos' own death, Star Fox like their own love. So just mind wipe everybody and make everybody fall in love just for 24 hours to make everybody seem like we're at peace. And then when the space guy leaves, we go back to normal. We just try to kill each other and riot and shit. And stuff like, nope, that ain't gonna work. What do you mean it ain't gonna work? That's the only chance we have because we suck. We're terrible people. We know if he judges us, we're not gonna win. He was like, no, if I control everybody to pretend like they're in love with each other, he's going to know. And if he knows, we're gonna instantly fail. So the only way to do it is the right way. So he gets up and he wants to go to like the United Nations and talk to the leaders of the free world to basically come up with a plan. But shit, basically talk about how everybody's being judged. Let's go some quick ones. Professor X, the space guy, shows up as Legion. He doesn't see him, and he's like, "Look, leave me alone." And so he gives him a thumb down, but Professor he didn't even see him give him thumbs down. We got here Dr. Doom. Space guy tells Dr. Doom, all you got to do is just say, Reed Richards is smarter than you, and I give you a thumbs up. Dr. Doom laughs at him and walks off. And he's like, oh, well, I'm going to give him a thumbs up anyway because I like this guy. We go to Daredevil. He talks to Daredevil. He sees Daredevil, and Daredevil's got, holding the scrimmer sticks, blood all over him because he just beat up a bunch of, bad guys, shit like that. And the space guy looks at him and says, you failed. And Daredevil looks back at him and says, I know. And just walks off. He was like, I knew I failed. We go to Miles Morales. He shows up as Peter Parker and gives Miles Morales a thumbs up. Miles Morales looks back at him, gives him a thumbs up. Cool. Okay. So that was that. So they basically just goes through life just judging everybody. So Star Fox at the United Nations and basically spells it out here like, look, I know y'all know who I am. If you know me as an Avenger, you know I'm a hedonist, but all it means is that I just love life. So if we want to get past this, you guys need to love life as much as I do. So all y'all need a little bit of hedonism in you. So I'm thinking, is he trying to like start an orgy in the United Nations or something like that? But anyway, he's basically breaking it down to who like, look, the X-Men gave you some technology. if you agree to my terms where you know, do the right thing, I'll give you some of the eternal technology also. Meanwhile, Special like, you're full of shit. You're lying. Everything you're saying, you know the Eternals can't do that. He's like, yeah, I can't. The reason he can't do that because Druig is still in charge. So the only way for them to, you know, help the humans out, we got to get Druig out of there. But they can't get Druig out of there because he's stuck inside the machine. So there's no way to get him out of there, you know. But they think they have a plan. So they go to the plan and basically they show him what Uranus, Thanos' uncle, some shit like that, fucked up Mars, ripped out Magneto's heart, shit like that, and he just went on a rampage, but he's locked up again. They're like, that's okay. We got a plan. We got a plan how to get past this shit. So this is what they're gonna do. So what they did, they started whispering in Druig's ear to make him to form the Unimind, because he's telling him that the X-Men are weak. If we form the Unimind one more time, we can kill the X-Men and be done with them, and we can kill all the mutants. So he's like, okay, let's form the Unimind. So he tells all the Eternals, form the Unimind, and we're gonna form from Krakoa, and he makes him like huge ass dragon. So the X-Men looking at, they're like, yeah, we're screwed, because they still haven't recovered from the last time those other guys fought. So they know if that dragon fights them, they're done. They're dead. They're gonna be wiped out. But Mr. Sin's just like, don't worry about the dragon. My friends are here. So you got the good Eternals. They join the Unimind also. And when they jump in Unimind, they were like, Drew is like, oh, I'm glad you guys joined. I'm expecting you to join. I'm gonna mind wipe all of you, but I'm glad you're on my team. They're like, no, we're not on your team. We came here to vote you out. Like, you can't vote me out. It's only like 6 of you. I got more Eternals on my side. So you still lose. Like, oh, do you? Well, what happened is that Icarus and Gilgamesh are inside of the machine, and they hacked the machine. They brought down the firewalls. So when they brought down the firewalls, it let all the X-Men into the Unimind with them. So now, since you got all the X-Men in there with the other Eternals, they outrank him. They outvote him. So they like, we vote for Star Fox. We want Eros to be the new Prime Eternal and get Druig the fuck up out of here. And he's like, oh shit. So Druig's like, uh-oh, this is bad. And that's when he hears Uranus whispering to him, let me out. Let me out. He's like, I can't let you out. You're crazy. You're going to kill everything. He was like, if you don't, you're going to die, because they're going to vote you out and they're going to kill you once they pull you out of Unimind. So either let me out or you die. There's only 2 choices. You're like, shit. Okay. The machine, let Uranus out. He was like, but Uranus, as soon as you get free, come rescue me, because I know you're strong, psychically strong enough to kick these guys out. He like, cool. I could, but you're a pussy. So I'm going to just leave you alone. And I'm going to just go wreck the earth anyway. So he didn't give a shit what happened to Druig. So they kicked Druig out immediately of the Unimind. And the X-Men now, Eros is the Eternal Prime. He's the leader of the Eternals now. And the X-Men about to stomp a mud hole in Druig before they get all these machines and monsters popping like that, because Uranus has access to the machine's worst monsters. And he's about to just destroy all kind of shit. Paris, Australia, everything's getting fucked up. And they're basically looking at Drew like, what did you do? They're like, I let the monster out. They're like, oh shit. But that's okay, because on Mars, I don't know how Tony Stark got to Mars, because he can't access to the portal, but he's on Mars. It doesn't matter. So he's like, look, I'm gonna hack into, since Uranus fucked up Mars, he left some energy signatures here on Mars that I can hack into, and we can get to him through the machine. But once we get in there, I need a huge electromagnetic pulse that's big enough, bigger than anything the Earth has ever seen. But I know you 2 guys can handle it. He looked at Magneto and Storm. And of course, a electromagnetic charge, those guys can do it. So he sets them off, opens the portal, and they go through it. So, like I said, in the last book, Uranus ripped out Magneto's heart. Magneto is only alive because of electricity in his brain and some shit like that. He's making his body move. He's basically a walking zombie, and he's still going. And he can't regenerate either. He can't resurrect either, because he destroyed his backup. So if Magneto goes, that's it. But anyway, they're here. So it's just Magneto and Storm versus Uranus. And they go at it. They let this big ass blast off of shit like that, knock him out. And he's just like, that's the best you can do? Just, you sent 2 X-Men after me? He was like, oh no, that ain't it. He like, Stark, did you get it? He was like, yeah, y'all put up big enough blast. I hacked into the system. You got control of the machine now. He like, oh, cool. So Magneto's like, okay, Uranus, the X-Men have called me heartless before. You made it literal. So I'm going to show you how heartless I really am. So he turns the machine, the entire machine, onto Uranus, blasts him away. But that's like the last thing Magneto had left on him, and he dies in Storm's arm. So
Damn.
That's it for. I mean, he can't resurrect. That's it for him. So yeah.
No
Yeah. So he's out, done. They beat the machine. They beat Uranos, and they want to kill Uranos, but they can't. They're like, if you kill Uranos, he's an Eternal. He's going to come back anyway. So now they're going back to the space god. The space god's just like, okay, time's up. Time to judge. And he judges your Icarus like, you're cool. Sisri, you suck. He just goes by there. So he's talking to Star Fox. He's talking to Star Fox, directed to the space guy. He like, look, I know we don't live up to your standards, but you saw what we did in a day. I got the United Nations to get on my side, and we are going to make a better planet, but we need more than a day to do this shit. Just give us a little more time, and we can make it. The ball's in your court. And he's thinking like, yeah, y'all say this all the time. Y'all need more time. Y'all need more time. You'll always do better tomorrow. Well, guess what? What happens when it's not a tomorrow, and all your tomorrows are up? That day is today. So he's about to do it. Boom. Thumbs down. Everybody's screwed. And then he just starts blowing up shit and stuff like that. They're like, here comes the rapture. And boom, they hit with a blast. Only Captain America survived because Captain America's Captain America. And even he's just like, we're gonna die. So yeah, and then the dude he was holding his hand, he's gone. So yeah. So to be continued. So, and then that's when you got this big ass thing right here where Space God is about to kill everybody. So like I said, 2 issues left. I don't know where it's going.
I was about to say, how many issues is there left?
I think it's 2 left. I mean, they killed the bad guys, but they're dead. So I don't know what left you can do. So yeah. So like I said, I'm enjoying the book. I know Gomer hates this book, but I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's cool. I wish it was more Eternals versus X-Men fighting because they haven't really done that. But I go with it. So I can afford a 5. I like the book. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Basically, what's going on with this book is that the progenitor, which is the space god that Tony Stark made, went crazy, gave a thumbs down, so everybody's got to go. And the book ends with Captain America dying. So this book opens up with Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting there. You see the space guy. He's got the thumb down, like everybody got to go. You're dead. And they're on the run. And then we get Captain America right here. The thumbs down. So he's talking to this New Yorker named Jada. She's been in the book, but she's just talking. She's basically talking to Captain America. Captain America just saying like, look, I've been trying to inspire people for 100 years. And I thought I was doing a good job of it. I thought for sure we was going to pass this test. And Jada's like, well, I knew we were going to fail, so, but I appreciate you for trying, Cap. She's like, nah, you can call me Steve, so they chopping it up. They having a good time talking, even though, the end of the world is nigh as we know it. And then that's when Nightcrawler pops up and like, hey, Captain America, you want to go talk to this space god and, tell him to kiss your ass? He was like, well, Nightcrawler, do you even have the power to get to the North Pole? You're like, of course I don't. That would kill me trying to get there. What do you think I am? A superhero? And he teleports to the North Pole. So there's a power that we didn't even know Nightcrawler had, but apparently Nightcrawler can do it because plot reasons. So yeah. So Captain America is there. And yeah, Nightcrawler teleports out. He's just like, look, you talk to the space guy. I talked to Professor X. He has you wired to everybody on the planet. So everything you say to him, everybody on the planet can hear you. Good luck. And he teleports his ass up out of there, So Captain America basically staring down, the space guy like he did Thanos, basically giving the same speech he gave to Thanos in Infinity Gauntlet, like, as long as one Avenger stands, you won't win. I faced down tyrants and bullies like you before, so all the same shit you've heard before. And basically said, and since this whole world can hear me, I want everybody in the world to know you're all Avengers now. And I got 2 words for you: assemble and avenge me. And as soon as he says that, boom, space guy kills him. So Captain America's dead, and anybody else that was there also. So that's where we're caught up to where we at right now. So and that's when Nightcrawler gets there. He's like, okay, so did we win? He's like, nah, Captain America's dead. But we pissed them off. And so the only reason everybody's not dead yet is because the space god told the Earth to just kill everybody and just kill yourself. And the Earth's like, no. So he's like, okay, so he's trying to make the Earth kill itself to make everybody go, And Nightcrawler's like, okay, well, whatever plan you got is not going to work. I got my own plan. Soon as y'all plan fail, hit me up and I'll tell you what we're going to do next. So that's what's going on with that. So basically got a plan, and Professor X is still in contact with every single world leader right now. And they're basically asking the X-Men, okay, what's the plan? What are we going to do? And they're like, okay, well, all we can do is just that weakness that space guy have, we rush it again. And they're like, no, you can't rush it. That's how we got killed last time. He's like, no, that thing is real. If we hit it, we can take him out. So okay, so if we do, so what can the Eternals do? Can the Eternals fight? Like, nah, we can't. If we even get close to the Celestials, we'll start bleeding out of our eyes and shit. And Bishop's like, oh, so you're useless. Okay, cool. And what's the guy's name? The love guy, Eros, space Star Fox, that guy. He says, look, okay, so we are useless, but since we deactivated our psychic shields, your psychics on the X-Men can basically temporarily take over our brains and make us do whatever they want us to do. So if we just happen to punch a space god, we just do. Like, okay. So they like Emma Frost and Stephen Cuckoo's like, okay, cool, let's do this. So that's when you get everybody go fight the space gods. You got the Avengers, the X-Men, the Eternals, both Spider-Man, even the Fantastic Four sneak in there some kind of way. All them in there. So they just rush them all at one time. Oh, and they take all the Hex, the guys try to go over Krakoa, those monsters, they're fighting too. All the Step Cuckoos are riding them. And it's so many of them, they actually like make him stone. They actually make him like turn his head, like, oh damn, okay, y'all actually, I felt that shit, And while they're doing all that, they hit him from like all sides, flanking them and shit. Namor, Exodus, and that's when Thor comes back with Monia. He's like, oh, you're a god? Oh, I'm a god too. Let's go. And he smashes them, and he like, oh, I felt that shit. So he actually feels that. But that's like, okay, I'm tired of y'all. I gave y'all a chance, and he just waves his hands, everybody dies. Thor, Phoenix, Eternal, everybody's gone. Fantastic Four, that bathtub they float in, gone. So he's like, I gave you. He's like, I kind of feel bad. He would give y'all a chance, make y'all think y'all could fight me, but oh well. So he goes back to doing what he was doing before. Only person that lives is Tony. He flies the fuck up out of there. He lets Tony live. He can't do shit to me anyway, so just let him go. So and then all the 1%ers on the planet get into a spaceship and try to fly to the next inhabitable planet. He sees them leaving and blows them up. So yeah, so they can't leave. And he's like, so that's what's going on with that. What's going on here? He's about to, blow up the Earth, but the Earth don't want to blow up. Let's cut to the end. Anyway, they brought some eggs, and the thing is, they brought back Exodus. So some of the people they brought back, but they were very strategic on who they brought back to resurrect. And they're like, you got to bring back Cyclops. If you don't bring back Cyclops, this is heresy. They're like, no, it's just custom, and you can change custom because yes, Cyclops is our best leader, but we need a better leader than him. And that's when you get Captain America busting out his shield. So they have cloned Captain America. So
shit.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. The next book is going to be the last book. I don't even really know. It felt like at this point they're padding it out. It's like they had a story, they're just trying to pad it out as much as possible. There's really no point to it at all. Everybody's dead. I know everybody's going to come back, but yeah, everybody's dead. So I don't know. This is 6 of 6. This is the last issue. This is the finale. So I know Gomer's happy to hear that. So this is it for this book. I don't even know if I'm gonna do this whole thing. I might just do like just the high points and just move on from there. Let me see. For the last book left off, some of the X-Men, some of the Avengers, some of the Eternals have snuck into the space god, the progenitor. So now he's oh damn, that's cool.
Whoa.
Oh, trippy. You're not high. Don't worry, people. Or maybe you are. I don't know. If you are high, I apologize. I know they fucked you up. So yeah. Oh, damn. Let me get to it. So yeah, that's going on right now. So the X-Men try to get the progenitor. Progenitor is about to destroy everything, but he can't destroy everything because the machine, which is Earth, won't let him do it. So yeah. So that's going on right now. So let's get past that. Let's go here. Let's get us out of here. Sorry, we're behind. There we go. All right. I'm gonna just hit the high points. All you need to know, Progenitor destroying everything. He can't destroy everything because the machine won't let him destroy everything. So he's like, okay, the machine won't listen to me, then I will make the machine listen. So he decides to just burrow to the center of the earth where the machine controls everything. They got the Moses split the Red Sea and shit like that. I get the imagery. Yeah, they like, okay, we don't have that much time. Hopefully the Avengers / Eternals / X-Men can figure out a way to stop the progenitor from destroying the earth, because all he got to do is just touch the loom at the center of the earth and everything's get destroyed. So they finally work their way in, and they see like the brain of the progenitor. He's just there, just some dude, just there, controlling everything. And they're like, okay, but now when they're in there, the Eternals realize that the X-Men can't control them because psychic powers don't work in here. So when Jean's is like, okay, well, I'm gonna just kill this guy to be done with it. And that's when, bam, she gets smacked by A.X.E. Like, no, so the Eternals won't let the X-Men kill the space god because they're programmed to make sure that happen. So they can't kill him. So they're like, well, shit, there's only one way to beat him. We got to talk him down. Just reason with him. That's the only way we can do it. So what they do is that so yeah, he's there at the center of the earth about to destroy everything. Um then they send an Eternal driven by Exodus to fight the progenitor, which he holds up for like a little way. All it does kind of like distracting. That's about it. But yeah. And while they're doing all that, they're talking to the progenitor, just like, okay, so what do we do? So basically, uh, yeah, basically they tell him that, okay, space guy, you were, oh, and who joins in? Not the evil guys, the nomads, the Nimrods. Nimrod joins in, the Sentinels join in, Orcus joins in, try to fight the progenitor also. So the humans see humans fighting, the space god, and they realize that, okay, the only way that we can stop him is talking to him. So what they do is that they tell him that you're not a god because you are flawed. And Siri tells all the humans on the other planet that the Eternals' secret to immortality, like they're not just immortal. Every time they die, they sacrifice a human to bring themselves back. So now the humans know that the Eternals aren't as good as what they thought they were also. So they judge Circe, and when they judge Circe, the space guys are like, well, you got to go. So he just evaporates Circe out of existence. She's gone, dead. That's it. And then basically he's just saying, like, you can't be a guy. You're not perfect because you're made from a man. Matter of fact, you're made from Tony Stark. Tony Stark is far from perfect. So if you're in the image of him, what does it say about you? Maybe you're making a mistake right now, judging everybody. And he's like, well, damn, maybe you're right. So he decides to, he just makes a wish, reverses everything back the way it was, gives his power to A.X.E, and that's the book. So yeah, so everything goes back the way it was before. All the billions of people he died, they're back. Yeah, that's it. The Eternals apologize. They're like, yeah, you're deviants, but oh, and that's A.X.E right now. She's a space god. She's the new space god. That's who they got to worship. So yeah, and yeah, they apologize to the X-Men. They're like, look, we'll give you a weapon. You can use Uranus for 1 hour. And they were like, well, why don't you? How do we know you won't come after us again? And like, yeah, y'all share some DNA with deviants, but technically you're not deviant enough to freak us out. So that's the book. Does anything else happen? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and she's about to judge everybody. She don't judge everybody yet. So yeah, this book sucked. I'm sorry. I'm with Gomer now. I'm with Gomer now. I was fighting Gomer with this, but I was like, that's the ending. Like, so none of this shit mattered. Basically, we didn't even get the Eternal versus X-Men fight because they fought like one panel on issue 3. And that was it. So yeah, fuck this book.